Hello there, you red hot little ravers, you humans, you hippies, you earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz, and I'm back today with another post of love, joy, and affection. This time I'm in the FV4202, and I'm going to show you 3 games today. There's not a whole lot of cutting and splicing and everything to be done. It's very, very straightforward, simple gameplay. It's me and Ouija rolling around. Here I am. Sure, should probably not give away these spots. On the FV4202 and 140 platoon. Now, someone asked me the other day what was my most challenging tank to drive. Chank at Tier X, and this is it. This is easily it. This is a tank that has such glorious potential, but is held back by just a massive weakness, and that is the complete lack of any form of turret armor. Now, that's been I've talked about this before, because basically when I did the review of the tank, I came up with the idea that if they did increase the turret armor, well, the tank would just be overpowered as hell, because every other part of the tank I find quite glorious. The gun depression, the upper glacis is a butter knife. It is literally, and look at that snapshot, as I'm reversing away, not using auto aim or anything, just slamming that one in there. It's a glorious little number. But the fact that it doesn't have any turret armor at all means that anyone with half a brain at tier 9 and 10 will absolutely smash you to bits. All they have to do is load up premium ammunition and fire at your turret, and they pen. And it's a sad fact of life that this is renowned amongst Grump and the boys that I play with as being the 3K draw machine, or 5K draw machine. And you would have seen, not the last review I did of this, but the previous one I did, there was just a bunch of 5 and 4.5K draws on different maps where I just couldn't finish tanks off. And it tends to be that way. And to be honest, one of the reasons why I still enjoy driving this tank is because the challenge is absolutely enormous. Playing against Russian mediums in this thing is legit. They get it so easy at the present. Before pen nerfs and everything else, they can literally just pen you through the turret with standard ammunition anytime they want to brawl you. And that means they don't really even have to worry about aiming, which is tough, because you really have to worry about aiming, because this tank doesn't have high pen pramo ammunition. It's a tank that runs around with a very low pen, high explosive squash head round. This is just hilarious. Look at Ouija. He has charged that T110E3, and I'm looking at an opportunity. I'm going to put Hesh into his butt right there. Fantastic. But Ouija's going to run into him, do himself a mischief, and then get belted. So all the rounds that I have to go through now are into his track, so that he will not actually kill Ouija. Ouija is still going around in front of him. Aaron, you absolute clown. I've said this before, and it's actually an old Terry Pratchett line. I read a lot of Terry Pratchett. I've read every book he's ever written. He's the kind of person, Ouija and Chappos is the same. If there was a switch that said, do not press or it will end the world, the paint wouldn't even have time to dry before Ouija had pressed the bugger. Now, this is why I find it challenging, and it's one of the reasons why I like driving it, because it doesn't have all the gifts that a lot of the other tier 10 tanks get. But what it does have is a gorgeous gun, the L7A1. It's got Hesh, which is brilliant when you get the chance to hit with it, and it's got nice gun depression. So you have to really build a game in this tank. Now, I did a video yesterday called how to get to 60%, or how to improve 60% win rate. And this tank, if you can drive this tank anywhere above 50-55% at tier 10 solo, you're doing the business with it. And I've been driving it today. And the reason I say that is I know that's not super unicum stats or anything, but I looked at the stats I had in it today, and I drove it at about 55%, and the average damage in it was up around 3,000. It was absolutely monstrous. But you get in situations at the end of games where it's come down to the real nitty gritty, and you can struggle to pen people who can play, and they don't struggle to pen you, and it makes life very tough. And you've got to build your damage in this tank. You really can't just step into the arena, drive forward and smash them. Now, mate, I'm sure there are some people who are going to get in the comments section and say, oh, I drive it like a YOLO machine and I have 3 million average damage, whatever. I don't really care. I'm talking about the rest of us, humanity in its dribs and drabs and generic format. And it's just not a tank that lends itself. Now, you're looking at a lot of games here where I'm playing against Object 140s. Now, we all know why that is. The 140 is a genius of a tank. It has a whole lot going for it. But you can still pen with this tank. You can still do damage with this tank. And indeed, you can still carry in this tank. But it's hard. So if you're looking for a tank that's a good challenge to drive, and a tank that isn't easy, and a tank that requires absolutely all of your grey matter, then give the FV4202 a go. It feels harder to drive for me than the Cent 7-1, and that is pretty impressive considering how it's the tier 10 version of the tier 9 Cent 7-1. You think it would be a much stronger tank, but it just doesn't feel that way. You can see the guns performing. Now, for all the people that are going to say, well, you're camping, whatever you want to do, look at the way I am. I've pushed further than anyone else in the team, and I'm going to be the first to push around again. What I'm doing is firing until I run out of opportunities to fire, and then I'm packing up my little caboose and I'm moving to the next area. And the red team are not being particularly aggressive here. There's some reds down the other end of the train tracks, but it's generically formed into a both sides of the train track kind of engagement. Now you can see that's into the side of the IS-7. Very, very tough tank to pen. We all know that. The last round was from behind the tree, so I didn't actually get spotted, and I was hoping I'd roll enough there to really push him back, but he stayed, didn't go backwards, tried to angle up. Good on him, did the right thing. Now we're moving down here and we're looking to recap. We're still the tip of the spear here. We've pushed further than any other person in the team, and we're playing such a low-key, easy game. And it's one of the reasons why I love this tank. You just cannot simply roll down there and do whatever you want to do. You have to absolutely maximize your life. You have to not splurge on your hit points. They did a big thing with this tank. They buffed it to 50 kilometers an hour, which is massive, and it really has helped it. But you can see here they've had an Object 268 who's at the back. There's a T62A around here as well, and they're both going to push up on me in a second. And I'm anticipating this. So what I'm going to do in just a bit is start pulling back here. I'm using the train there as cover, and I'm going to come around. I'm going to show you one more video after this. And you can also see here how I switch to high explosive squash head to get the kill shot and ensure that I take out this 62A, because he's got a lot more damage per minute than I do when I'm in standard APCR format. He just does more damage, like by a considerable margin too. And I'm pulling back because what he doesn't have is gun depression. So I want to make it, if he wants to come and get me, he's going to have to drive across everyone else. We track him, hit him, go back down again. Missed that one, and we're going to switch to high explosive squash head, get him on the flat. There we go, and bring the big love at the end. I hate the new mines map. I just want to put it out there. I really liked it at the start because it was different, I think, but I've come right around to it now. It's far too small, and it's really bad for these non-Russian mediums. You want to push the hill, and I've cut out the bit at the start where I tell Ouija, not going hill, cannot deal with it. We have an issue here where Ouija is trying to push the hill, and you can see the STB1 bumps him, stops him from going up there, and then just flat out stops and lets Ouija go on his own and pulls back. And that's one of the reasons why I hate going hill on mines. So I made sure I hit that 140 as he went through, and there's an E50 coming as well. I'm going to make sure I get him if he pushes up on Ouija. That STB1 gets the kill on the 140 and then backs off. Now, I can't really blame him for not pushing. What we don't like is guys that don't push, but also stop Ouija from getting around that corner in the first place and being the first one up the top. We're now in a really sticky situation. I'm at the back. I don't really feel confident to push up in this tank at all. What I'm trying to do is take the targets that are on offer, and there's certainly plenty of them. And then you get that 183 absolutely obliterates the E50M. And then I'm going to try and push around down here to the left. And I get up in a really sticky situation. And I come out of it pretty well. But this is like one of the reasons why you've got to be really careful with this tank. You can see I'm pushing down here. I haven't got an eye on everyone on the map. And I'm pushing down here, and I'm not sure where I'm spotted from here. It's actually, I think there is an E100 on my right. Ouija is not happy. But I don't think the E100 spotted me, and I'm not sure who spotted me, so I'm going to reverse using the soft cover of this bush in front of me, which is going to stop them from seeing me if they are directly ahead of me. And I'm going to get down there, hit that E100, and now I'm in a really strong position to put shots into him. But I don't know if there's anyone in front of me, so I'm pushing back towards that rock. Everything's fallen apart at the back, though. I'm going to have to get up close and personal. There is no other way around it. The E100 is pushed hard down. The FV215B at the back is dead. We still have a T95 somewhere in there. I blow my shot into the side of the IS-8, the world's trollest armor profile that actually looks like you can pen. And now there's a T54 on me. So I've got to pick my poison here. I've got Ouija who's going to support me, and I'm going to go to Hesh. You can hit a T54 on the side, just above the tracks, and you will absolutely dust him for a full roll with Hesh, and that's exactly what we do there twice. And we are absolutely between a rock and a hard place. Really, really tight spot. Into the back of the E100, just finish him off. Don't want to give that IS-8 a shot. There's a T54 E1 up there that I really want to kill. Looking for a Hesh shot into the lower glacis, but I muffed the shot up here. Should have pushed out there when I had the chance. Take it on the upper glacis, which is great, but absolutely blew that in his tracks. Just a hopeless shot. Coming back, I want the kill on that E1. There we go, straight in the top. Great gun, great gun. Love it. Ouija dusts up the IS-8. We're just going to come out here. We've got the hit points to actually deal with this T57. There we go. And we're going to finish him with one of the most glorious guns you can find. It's a challenging drive. It is an absolutely challenging drive, make no mistake. It's like the Leopard 1. There are maps where it just sucks because you literally can't be aggressive in them. If I had a guy on the hill there and tried to push up with that 140, he would have been straight through my turret. If anyone else had to come up with us, I've just had so many bad experiences now with that map on that hill. Doing 50 is great, but it's not quick enough to be the first one there. If you get bumped or jostled, it's just an angry, nasty place, and it's far too small, and you get lots of tanks just queuing up for shots at people as they go through the goal mouth. And I've been absolutely obliterated up there far too many times to be pushing on it. There you go, boys and girls. That's my most challenging drive at Tier 10. I find that out of all the TDs, mediums, and heavies to be far and away the toughest tank for me to consistently carry in. It really is what you would call a rewarding drive when it works. It's just such a bloody conundrum. Like, if they gave that a strong turret, then the tank would be overpowered as hell because it's got the best upper glacis going around. And you could do the Russian medium thing, just poking around the sides of hills and going hull down on the corners and bounce stuff all day long. But it's like this perfect collection of things. Give me a strong turret and give me the chassis of a Centurion 7-1, and I will make sweet, gorgeous, fantastic love in the FV4202 all day long. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Until next time, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield.